Hey everybody, it's Heidi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today's video is going to be showing you all of the pages from my first finished coloring book, which is The Magical Dawn Artist Edition by Hannah Karlzon. And these are all the pages from that book in front of me. It used to look like this in just this format with, this binding like this. I took it apart because I thought it would be easier to work with the pages, which it was, but now I wish I had kind of kept it intact so I'd have the book, to show. But that is the last time I'll have to talk about that. So, these are in no particular order. I'll just talk about what I can remember of what I used. I didn't look it up, so I'm just going by my memory. But this first page here was done with I believe it was the Staedtler water-based markers. I think they're called the 320s. They're the double-ended felt tip markers, and I believe that's all I used on this page. I didn't have any glittery embellishments or anything. And I remember I actually did this page before I knew about alcohol markers. I didn't even know they were a thing. So that's something. This was quite a while ago. It's okay. It's a little streaky, of course, like water-based markers are. I didn't know anything about going over it with pencil for shading or anything like that. So this is just plain marker. And I decided to just keep it that way. No background. So, yeah, that's what it is. The next one is kind of the same thing. It was an early one. And I did this one after I came back from a camping trip, and I was just really inspired by her, and sort of imagined her as like this forest goddess. And I've colored this with water-based markers. I think it was the same set, the Staedtlers. And I did have some glitter gel pen by this time, so because I can see I used some in the background, some gold, and then some gold on her earring, and some highlights various places on the crown and so on. But for what it is, generally speaking, I like it a lot. There's no pencil shading or anything. It's just water-based markers and some glittery gel pen. And then this next page was done with alcohol markers. No pencil for shading. It's just I tried to do the shading with the markers, which I haven't done for a while, actually. But it turned out okay. Her face is a little bit strange looking, I feel. It's kind of yellow, a little bit yellow and kind of pale. But for one of the first times that I practiced doing shading, it's not bad. I really like how all of this came out, the hair and the berries or whatever they are, the greenery. I really love that. I used some gold glittery or metallic gel pen in the background, and yeah, fairly happy with that one. This one is all Blick alcohol marker. There's no pencil shading at all. It's just, I tried to do the shading with the markers. And again, not too shabby. I mean, skin is fairly pale. I don't mind that. I really like how I did this shading, on the birds. Yeah, maybe I should try doing that more often. It's a little bit of a challenge, but it looks nice. I really love this color palette. I don't remember, you know, how it came about or what, but I love how I did the hair, all these different shades that, you know, they're sort of weird and random, but they actually, I think that actually looks kind of cool. Yeah, so what else to say about this? No embellishments. I don't see anything sparkly on this page. Yep, so there's that one. This page is alcohol markers. I don't remember. I think probably Blicks. And color pencil for shading. I can see I used quite a bit of pencil. And then I used some sparkly gel pen for inside the flowers. And around here, these little dots are done in gold. And then I think I might have used fine liners for some of the details here. The really, really tiny details. I used some white gel pen up here. This page really strikes me as kind of like vintage. It looks very vintagey to me. I like it. And then this page I did, I used the Arteza watercolor pencils. And I believe that's all I used. I didn't go over it with anything. Although I might have used some pencil just for the background, just this kind of blue light aura around everything. And I think I used some white gel pen on the windows. And I used some metallic silver gel pen on these little things down here. But that's pretty much it. I really like the Arteza watercolor pencils. They worked really nicely on this page. So there's that one. And then on this page I used the Neocolor 2s for almost all of the page. Even for the kitty, I used them here and in the ears and all this. It's all done. Although I think if I remember correctly, I just sort of picked up the color with a brush and dabbed it on for some of these more subtle details. I didn't scribble it on like I did with the background. So yeah, the background was done just scribbling and trying to create a gradient and a halo around the cat. And then I also used water or alcohol markers. I think they were Bic Intensity, on the smaller details here on the jewels and up here. And then a little bit of metallic gel pen on the stars, white gel pen to go around the stars to make them pop more. And I think that is it. I really love this kitty. She reminds me of my kitty. I kind of based her off my kitty, Callie. Her eyes look almost exactly the same. I really like this page. This page is fairly simple. I remember I did this one in watercolor. And I think it was just like a cheap set, like a cheap pan set. Maybe it wasn't cheap, but it was a pan set. Maybe Angora. I'm not too sure anymore what that was. And then I used some glittery metallic gel pens for the little dots, and also for the jewels here, like the pearls. But the rest is, or that may have been like iridescent metallics, iridescent watercolors, I mean. Yeah, and also some of this stuff now I'm seeing, it has a really subtle sheen. I don't think you're going to be able to see that on camera. But yes, that is that page. This page was done with all acrylic paint. Not paint pens either, like actual acrylic paint that I applied to the brush. This was done way back when, before paint pens existed. This took me quite a while, as I remember. This was done several years ago. What else? There's some shimmery, I think some of it, like this key here, I think that might be metallic gel pen, but otherwise it's all acrylic paint. Yeah. And there's, yeah, over here metallic, but yeah, it's a little bit blotchy up close, but from a distance it looks pretty good. So feel pretty good about that one. And this fish was done, this was one of my first ones with alcohol markers, I remember. When I first got my Bic marking, or Bic intensity as they're called now. This was one of the first things I did, I think. And I remember just being so excited about how they worked and how they didn't streak. Yeah, and there's some sparkly something, probably jelly roll, metallics. And yeah, so that is that. I'm happy with how this gradient worked out. A lot of fun, as I remember. This page was done with Neocolor 2s in the background. And then I went over it with pencil because it was very blotchy and streaky. So I just smoothed it out with some pencil. There is some very glittery metallic, either paint or gel pen. I'm not sure which or what brands. Some white gel pen. I think this was also, I think the base of this bug and this, yeah, that's right, now I remember, was watercolor. And it was a little bit of a struggle trying to get the look I was going for. So I went over with pencil to get some shading. Yes, yeah, it's coming back to me. And I think I forgot to do these little lines coming out of the jewel. I should go over that with the gel pen. But in general, I really like this page. And this page was done with alcohol markers. Probably Blicks, although I'm not sure at this point. Alcohol markers, some metallic gel pens, a little bit of pencil around her for the sort of halo. And yeah, pretty pleased with this page too. This one was done with alcohol markers, metallic gel pens. I don't think I used any pencil for shading, so it was all alcohol markers shading, which I didn't do a lot of, I guess, but some on the candles. Yeah, I tried to get a little bit of a blend going, and I like that. No background except for the little dots. Just simple. I like this color palette. This one was also alcohol markers, and I did the blending with, or the shading with the markers. I don't believe there's any pencil on this page. Yeah. So this is all alcohol marker. And I think they were Blick. I like it. This page was done with watercolors, and I remember I used a set of cheap ones, like ones I just got from Michael's or Joann Fabrics or something. And they ended up being a little bit chalky, but not bad at all. I used some white gel pen for highlights on the jewels, or crystals rather. Oh, I forgot to do these. Forgot to do these little things down here. And there's some, I think I used iridescent metallic. I keep saying that. Iridescent watercolors. Like on these little things here on the flasks. And right here, I don't think you can see that. But yeah. That one's kind of a pastel page. This one was done with acrylic paint and gel pens for the dots in the background, white gel pen. I don't think I had a white Posca yet at this point. So this was all done with a tiny brush too. Acrylic paint and a tiny brush, except for obviously the background, which used a larger brush. But yeah, it was fun. Should do that again. I always forget how you can actually use acrylic paint for such small details. It takes a while, but it is possible, and I kind of like the way that looks. Really vibrant, bold. And then I'm seeing some sparkle. I think I must have used metallic or glitter gel pen in some of these areas that I didn't have the color that I wanted, or I wanted something sparkly on here. So yeah, there's that one. And then this page was done with watercolors. Yeah, I definitely remember using watercolors. I might have used Neocolor 2 in the background. It sort of looks like that. This up here looks like Neocolor 2 to me. And then I went over everything with pencil for the shading. Used quite a bit of it down here at the bottom. And some white gel pen. But most of this shading up here was watercolor, I think. And then I just used pencil for to smooth it out a bit and add some deeper shadows and things. But this is the page that I used, like this strip right here, that I used for my channel banner. Happy with that one. And then the rainbow dust page. This one was done with the glass bottle was done with watercolors first, and I used the iridescent watercolors too. If I can get that to show. It's all very kind of sparkly. I went over the rainbow part with some pencils to darken up the colors. I don't know if I used gel pen. Yeah, probably in the little dots in the background. I think this is Distress Inks, the background. Either that or soft pastels, but I think I remember using Distress Inks. And then for this part, the words, that is it's like a red, black, what is it called? The Sparkle Pop? Yeah, the Sparkle Pop gel pens. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I think this was one of the first times I tried to do glass, and I didn't really know what to do, but I figured light blue would work fairly well. So, and I think it came out okay. It does sort of look like glass to me. Then I used some white gel pen for the highlights on there. And yeah. And then getting down to the last couple of pages. This page I turned into a black swan, and I used alcohol markers and pencil on top I don't know, I don't see anything sparkly on here. Nope, so just those two, and then pencil for around the edge for this halo effect. And really like my black swan. And then the last page in the book is this crown, and I used Bic metallic markers for the most of it. The red is not metallic, it's just, I think I used Bic marking for that. And then I used a lot of white gel pen for all the little highlights on all the little jewels, and some gold metallic gel pen for these things around the edge. But yeah, so that is this book. Excited to have my first finished book, even though it's not very long, doesn't have that many pages in it. But yeah, I've worked on this book for many years, at least 5 or 6 years, just slowly going through them. So I'm very glad to be done with this. And so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and enjoy your coloring, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.